Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Phenomenal Views. I am your host Nick Smith, and of course you know sometimes my nephew Tevis, he's in another review. So I'm just going to start things off with this. Fact. Rupert Wyatt's Rise of the Planet of the Apes was phenomenal.
Opinion.
Fact.
Opinion. You need to go back to school.
Matt Reeves' Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Look.
Phenomenal, amazing, fantastic, great film. This film was fantastic. Before I even start to say anything, this is honestly one of my candidates for Film of the Year. It's a tie right now between Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Captain America the Winter Soldier for my top two favorite films of this year so far that I have seen. I will not be posting my Film of the Year thing until probably close to the end of the year. Well, duh. So, I'm just going to say this film was not predictable at all. Not predictable at all.
Like most movies.
No, there's a lot of movies that are predictable.
That's what I said. Most
Oh,
movies.
my bad. But this film was amazing. The acting, great. The atmosphere, great. Soundtrack, great. The story is great. Everything in this movie is great. And like how we said before that the trailers make this movie, the trailers make this movie look like the humans are really the bad guy. Like
When did we say this before?
We didn't. I'm saying
Wait.
that's what the trailers are saying.
I know, but she's... Go on.
The trailers basically make it look like Gary Oldman's character, who is the real Commissioner Gordon, who also appeared in RoboCop, and now apparently the world's gone to heck, and somewhere Batman's gone missing, but somehow Commissioner Gordon's still alive. I don't get that. But, anyway, they make it look like he is the bad guy because the main character of the film, whose name is Malcolm, keeps wanting to work things out and try to get apes and humans to communicate with one another. And as you all know, in the trailers, Gary Oldman is like, we can't trust them, they're animals. That is actually not how the film starts. And just another thing, Michael Bay... Stop. Michael Bay, this is how you do this type of film right. In this film...
He's gonna track you down.
A lot of people say things about him. In this film... The humans are not the main focus. They are in the film, but they're not focused on too much. They're focused on enough. The apes are the main focus of the film. This is how Transformers should have been, with the Transformers being the most focused on instead of the dumb humans. Now,
wow! Thanks! Humans are dumb!
No, but when it comes to a film like Transformers or this film, the main focus should be on them and not on the humans. There are humans in the old Transformers cartoon, but they were hardly in the show, and it was more on the Transformers. But that's another time. With this film, the film actually starts off with Caesar dressed in the face paint. And also, this was another thing. When Caesar is dressed in the face paint in the trailers, it looks like him and the apes are going to war, but they're not. They're actually just going hunting. Every time that they go out of their home, they put on the face paint because anything could happen. They go to war, basically. And Caesar looks awesome, even better than in the first film. And he is portrayed by the same actor. I do not remember his name. But he makes this character the best character in the film. Caesar is, once again, the best character in this film. Now, one gripe that I do have with this film, and this is only one, they actually do not say what happened with James Franco's character. His character is mentioned, they hint at, and he's getting ready to say, well, he probably died. But the fact of the matter is that they never even mention him, like they never mention his character, they never mention what happened. That was the only thing that I honestly did not like, and I thought that they were going to say something.
They mentioned his character.
They mention his character because they show, in the scene when Caesar and all of them have to go back to his old home, they show the video of Caesar and James Franco together. But that's it. There's no mention of if he died, which, I mean, everyone probably assumes that he died, but just the fact that there's no mention of his name. There's no mention of his character. The only mention that we get is through that video. And that was my only gripe with this film, was the fact that they did not bring up such an important character from the first film, and that was really the only gripe I had with it. And this film is kind of like with a lot of apocalyptic films. There was a virus that broke out from the first film, and the virus started getting worse and worse, and humans just dropped off the face of the earth pretty much. Humans are basically on the verge of extinction, like with The Walking Dead. But this film does not. Actually, the humans do not come into the film till like what, 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, because after the bear scene and
after that, like,
they only show the humans in like 30 minutes.
They don't show the humans until like maybe 20 or 15 minutes. And what they do is they start building up each different ape character, because each ape is played by a different actor. None of the apes are CGI. It's all people acting. I mean, yes, they have some computer-generated things to make them look like apes, but it's not computer-animated apes. It's real people playing these characters, and that is really good determination. But with this film, it shows Caesar and his apes hunting. And we see Caesar, we see that he has a son named Blue Eyes, and Koba is in this film once again, and so is the orangutan from the first film. And now, like...
He's so fluffy, I just want to give him a big fat hug.
Yeah, my favorite line that ape said was, "Run." Of course, that was the only line he did have. But it was so funny. But, so when... his son, Caesar's son, doesn't do what Caesar says. You know, I'm guessing, Teenage Rebellion. Oh, Dad doesn't know what he's talking about. He's old. But his son gets attacked by a bear, and Koba saves Caesar's life. So then, after this, the apes go back to their home, and we see this humongous place that the apes have built over the years. The apes believe that humans are extinct, because we get talking and dialogue with Caesar and the orangutan talking about how Caesar still thinks about humans from time to time, and how they just haven't seen humans in almost, what, they say 2 years?
2 months.
2 winters. They said 2 winters.
2 winters,
yeah, so pretty much 2 years. And Caesar also has a wife and another kid. They never say what the kid's name is, but they do run into the humans, and, it's basically like, walking in the forest, and they freak out. And
it was Blue Eyes and Ash.
Yeah, Blue Eyes and Ash they run into the humans, and the humans basically freak out, and who shot him? It was the douchebag. Basically the guy who's a douche. He shoots he shoots Ash, and
Caesar hid behind a tree.
No, Caesar didn't hide behind no tree. They called for Caesar, and...
Oh, not Caesar, Blue Eyes.
Blue Eyes hid behind a tree. And so the very first line that Caesar actually talks is...
Go.
Go. And hearing Caesar's voice again...
Hey, I said it first.
Hearing Caesar's voice again, I got scared. Because I would not want to tick Caesar off. Caesar is one of those people... Caesar's like one of those people, you tick me off, you're gonna have trouble.
Hey, can we watch that later tonight?
What? Rise of the Apes? But, anyways. So then the humans go back to the town, to the city, what's left of it, because the apes allow them to leave. And we basically get about how, when they go to the town, actually the apes go.
You got another one?
No, I haven't even touched this one.
Oh.
The apes go to the town, and basically Caesar is like, apes we do not want a war. Forest is our home, city is your home, do not come back. Or we will fight. And that's just straightforward, and that shows right there just how strong of a leader Caesar is, even though Koba doesn't think so. Koba doesn't trust humans, and the reason why is because of how much experimentation and how many things and how many treatments he went through with humans. So he doesn't trust humans. And when the humans go to the forest and try to basically get Caesar to understand that they need lights, they need power, and the only way that they can do it is by going to this dam, and working on it and getting it fixed. So Caesar does agree, but some things do go wrong, like the douchebag human brings a shotgun after specifically Caesar says no guns. And one of the things that made me and him both laugh in the film was Malcolm comes down after talking with Caesar, and he's like, "We have to turn in our guns." I honestly thought that they were just gonna, keep the guns until they leave. No, they destroy the guns, and I was like,
on them, throwing them in the fire.
Yeah.
Throwing them in the fire is a stupid idea.
They're apes. They don't know any better. They don't.
Well,
know
they're human apes.
They're smart, yeah, but they've never dealt with weapons, so they actually don't know. But anyway,
what about their giant booty spears?
They don't know with firearm weapons. They just know, like, with caveman weapons, pretty much. All the apes can talk, which, I didn't know. I thought only Caesar could talk, but no, all of them can talk. But
Blue Eyes didn't talk to the end.
Yeah, Blue Eyes didn't talk to the end. And basically, while Malcolm is trying to build a trust between Caesar and his apes, Copa is going to the city, finding the humans' weapons, and actually starts killing humans. And even trying to kill Caesar, because he thinks that Caesar is weak for not trying to kidnap the humans. And when Koba takes over, oh my gosh, it is like the original. It is like with the original Planet of the Apes film, when
worse.
Yeah, kind of worse.
Because they got
Copa wants all the humans to be put in cages. Copa wants the humans to feel how Koba felt being experimented on and everything. So
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah,
good theory.
Because that's what they said in the first film.
Did they? Mm-hmm. Okay.
But when everything starts getting bad, when Caesar gets shot and the apes start going after the humans, and all war and everything breaks loose. When this was happening, my jaw was dropping because how horrifying it was. The humans just start bringing the guns, and they try to fight, but the apes clearly... We got pwned. Like a noob on Modern Warfare or Black Ops 2. Pwned.
What does that mean?
Means we got destroyed. Oh. Pretty much. That's pretty much what it was. They all had guns. The apes had guns, but the apes had more guns, except the humans had a rocket launcher, but that still didn't help.
A bunch of gasoline tanks.
Yeah.
And killed a bunch of apes. They killed like 1 million apes.
Yeah.
They had a heck of a lot more than 80.
And yeah. When the apes come into town for the first time, Gary Oldman's like, "That's a lot more than 80, Malcolm."
That was in the trailer too.
Yeah, it was. It's like, that's a lot more than 80.
Remember, my favorite scene might not have been that one scene where Caesar was. It might have been the one where they gave him the drink.
Oh yeah. In the film, just like how they showed in the trailers, Copa goes basically tricks the humans into 1, letting him drink, and 2, getting his hands on a gun, which he shoots both humans. And that's actually what starts it. Koba even sets the apes' home on fire to try to get... He wants control because he thinks that...
He shot Caesar and set the home on fire.
And through this whole entire film, Copa is basically trying to get Caesar's son to turn on him. And he doesn't really, but when Copa tells him humans killed your father, Blue Eyes instantly goes with Koba, but it's not until... When Malcolm goes back to find supplies to do surgery on Caesar because where he was shot, Blue Eyes runs into him because he's trying to get back so they can work on Caesar, and he says, Blue Eyes actually lets Malcolm go, but he's like, "Wait, your father, he's alive." And then this is actually when Blue Eyes speaks. He's like, "Father, I want to help you." So then, basically, Copa is even killing other apes. He's killing apes and
He killed Ash.
He killed Ash he picked him up and he threw him on the ground
because he wouldn't kill a human.
Yeah, because like when they were in this one building, they were Copa's like, kill the human, and
he had
Ash
like
was basically
big pole thing.
Yeah, Ash was basically like, Caesar wouldn't want this. Caesar would not want us killing humans.
He grabbed him by the neck and threw him off a balcony.
It was like
3 stories, maybe 4.
Yeah. And then that's when
I think it landed on a car. That's what it sounded like. It didn't show.
No, it didn't show, but it sounded like he landed on the ground to me. But anyways, after all this, there's pretty much a final fight between Caesar and Koba, and it is awesome. But
with a P.
It sounds like a B, but who cares?
I do.
But this whole entire film, when I thought something was going to happen, it completely did a 180. Like, when they find that the dude had a shotgun, I really thought Caesar was going to start shooting people, but Caesar threw it in the river. And I was like, dang. This film...
You were like...
Okay, stop.
Stop. Go on.
But the final thing of the film is... The humans have called the military because they finally get lights running up and everything. And at the end of all that's happened, we do get that speech where Malcolm is like, Caesar, look, they've called the army. They're going to be here. You have to go. There's no need to be a war. And Caesar's like, unfortunately, war has already begun. Apes started war. Humans will never forgive us. You need to go. And he even calls Malcolm his friend for everything he did. Even though sometimes Caesar didn't trust him, Malcolm earned Caesar's trust. And Malcolm automatically gave Caesar his trust. This is a really great film. And the film ends with the fight between Copa and Caesar. Copa has been basically guilt-tripping Caesar into letting him stay in the group whenever Copa would betray Caesar. And Caesar would say, ape, not kill ape. But when he was hanging off the rest of the tower, because Gary Oldman's character, when the apes attack and when they're finally released by the good apes... Gary Oldman, this is when Gary Oldman basically became the bad guy, but he's actually not the bad guy. He's honestly just trying to get his life back. He's trying to get everything that we lost because of the virus. But when the apes attacked, that basically set him on edge. He's like, we've got to stop them. And that's what made him become the bad guy, and they set C4s on the tower, and he blew it up. Malcolm survives, but they don't show... If Gary Oldman's character survived or not, they don't ever show it, but he thinks he died, and he might have. But, the film ends with the camera focusing on Caesar, and I think that there's going to be a third film.
Yeah.
When we walked into the theater, the credits were still rolling, and we seen a clip, but I don't know if it was for another film, or if it was for this film, and for some reason they just didn't show it. They might have not showed it because it was time for them to start closing up, so they might have not showed it.
But I did see in that end credits a bunch of different songs that weren't in
They probably just didn't. They were probably in the film, they just probably had the music turned really down.
Because I saw Counting Stars on the song list, and that was not in that movie.
It might have, but like, we'll talk about that later. But guys, I strongly suggest go watching this film and even buying this film on Blu-ray and DVD. This film is full of awesomeness. It's not full of crap. It is full of awesomeness. I strongly suggest tomorrow when your theater opens, go watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
Deadpool commands you.
Ah.
Now, hey, I'm going to shoot you if you don't. Go watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Best film of the year. Captain America Winter Soldier might be better, but he will give that at the end of the year. So, I am Deadpool. This is Nick. This is Tevis. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is awesome. Go watch this film and read my comic books. Good night, everybody.